Hello, friends. This is Arun here, your Mindset Marinator. During the various conversation I had with different set of people, one thing I found was, one thing common what I found was everyone are undergoing some or other pain in their life. I have not came across anyone does not have any pain, be it the physical or the mental pain. In the process of pain, people undergo different stages and they're just going to trouble them too much, right? Then I thought, why don't I share this information through this video so that if you are undergoing some sort of pain, then this would be helpful. Okay. The context is pain versus suffering. I will explain this too in a two different aspect. Assume someone had a wound on their leg. That's just going to cause some kind of a pain. The wound would get healed, but still the pain which happens in their body, right? It just spread across entirely and also just goes and sit in our mind. When that person is going to think about that particular pain again and again and again, what happens is that's where the suffering happens. Where does the suffering happen? The suffering happens in our mind. Remember, friends, pain is temporary, but suffering goes for a longer duration of time. Assume someone had lost in the family. It's a painful process. But if that person is going to keep on think about the loss, then that's where they get into the suffering. I'm trying to share these examples so that you'll be able to understand what is the pain you're undergoing and are you in the process of changing that to suffering. Suffering is really, really bad. The reason is even after 5 years, 10 years, still you will, when you think of that, you would suffer. Pain just comes and goes, but suffering going to stay longer. Okay, so that's a theory part of it. But if you ask me, hey Arun, that's fine, but is there a way how we can just solve the pain and also reduce the suffering? Of course, there are ways which I practice. Remember, anything happening in your life, it's happening for a reason. One thing what you can start doing is you can take out this pain, you can stop this pain to suffering by building your mental resilience. In English, they call it as mental resilience. How quick someone can get back to the older state. Normally, we are not designed that way to bounce back. If something happens, then we think about it for long and then we talk about it for long. And then we keep saying about that to every other person who we meet, isn't it? Which means you're not putting a full stop to your pain. You're building that slowly, slowly, slowly into suffering. And then after some point of time, your suffering going to turn very big. Then it will be very hard for you to get out of that pain or the suffering. So the one simple suggestion, a tip, what I wanted to share with you is build your mental resilience. Mental resilience, the meaning of mental resilience is how quick you can come back to your old state, right? So assume someone is meeting an accident and then accept what happens and then how quickly the person is able to come to terms, okay, this had happened and I need to get out of that. I need to get out of that situation, not to think, not to brood, not to dwell on it for a longer period of time. If you start doing this simple practice, it really helps. The reason is you're not building any mental patterns again and again and again. When you get out, when you build your mental resilience, what happens is that particular cycle stop getting built, which means you don't dwell in the pain, you don't build the pain into suffering. Rather, you keep a full stop and then the life goes on. Even in my life, I undergone lots of various other pain. Just because of this one practice, what I'm practicing, it helped me to build my mental resilience so that I don't undergo too much of pain or other suffering. Pain is something that it's inevitable. You cannot avoid it. Everyone has to undergo the pain because that's how life is designed. But suffering, it's an option. You have an option to stop getting into the suffering mode. right? So the simple suggestion is how quick you can build your mental resilience so that you bounce back. Don't dwell on the pain or the event or incident for longer duration, longer period of time. Rather, just change your focus and then life goes on. With this, I'll finish off. There is a beautiful saying. The saying goes like this: where your focus goes, your energy flows. When our focus goes too much towards the pain, and we supply all our energy towards the pain, so stop that process, then the magic will happen. I really wanted to thank you all for taking your time to watch this particular concept about the pain and the suffering. This is something I've been practicing for a long period of time, and I feel the peace in my heart. I wanted to share this message with the hope that this message will help someone to reduce their pain and suffering. Thank you so much, friends. Wishing the best. This is Arun here, your Mindset Marinator. Good luck.